Welcome to Ask and Learn.
Okay, we're going to solve this differential equation. We're going to give this a whirl. So we're starting out here with dy dx equals x root y. First thing we want to do, well, first thing I did was I changed the square root of y to y to the 1/2. For my mind, I need it to be in exponents so that I can take the antiderivative. It just helps me make sense of it more. Then I'm going to put the dx with the x, and I'm going to put the y to the 1/2 and the dy together because we're going to find the antiderivative. So we need the x's with the dx's and the y to the negative 1/2 with the dy's so we can take the antiderivative. So that's what I did. I just divided both sides by y to the 1/2, which is the same as multiplying by y to the negative 1/2. And of course, I moved dx up to here. So now we take the integral of both sides. So integral, and over here I get 2y to the 1/2. I just add 1 and divide by the new exponent. And then over here, the integral of the antiderivative of x is x squared over 2 plus some constant, because this is an indefinite integral. So now we're going to do some algebraic manipulations to this. I want to have just y isolated on the left side of the equation. So the first thing I'll do is divide both sides by 2. Notice I came in and I multiplied this fraction by 1/2 to get a 4 down here in the denominator. And I just divided the constant by 2. In the end, it's going to become just its own constant. It's more of a placeholder right now. So then we're going to square both sides to get from here down to this line here. So y equals this thing squared. Again, for my small mind, I needed to see it out like this so I could use the distributive property. So x squared over 4 plus c halves times x squared over 4 plus c halves. And I multiplied it all out. And this middle bit right here, is a little tricky. And what I did was I said, okay, I've got these two terms. They're going to have a denominator of 8, but I'm going to look at these. And what happens if I just factor out an x squared over 4 and an x squared over 4, right? I would be left with these constants added together. I'd have c over 2 plus c over 2, which would be just c. And so I did that. And this comes down and is right here. And now I'm just going to use k because we know that it's a constant. And k just means it's a different constant than over here, but it's still just a constant. This c squared over 4 is just a constant. That may be different than the constant we started with here, but it's still a constant. And so here is our final answer. Y equals x to the 4th over 16 plus some constant times x squared over 4 plus some constant.